Well, good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here for this evening's ministry orientation, getting ready for a new year. We wanted to begin with a devotional thought from God's Word and the Reese Pieces on your table. The Reese Pieces on your table are there to remind you that each of you all are vital pieces to what happens here at Bethel. Yes, you can call it a dad joke.
That wasn't the vision or inspiration you were telling me about, is it?
It could be.
Could be, okay.
Chris found it, and I was. Yeah, we can use that. Plus, they're one of my favorite candies, so they're there for yours to take, even munch on while we're going. But as a word of thanks for being seriously an important part of Bethel. 1 Corinthians 12 reads, "For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ. For in one Spirit you were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and all were made to drink of one Spirit." So just the highlight there, God has called us to be a part of what we know as Bethel.Bible.Church, to work together. Every one of us are different. All of us are gifted in different ways. But the ways that God has gifted us are meant to serve the body, to serve one another. And thank you for the ways that you do that. It is important and vital. And in the capacities that you're serving in this year, we're grateful the way that you serve us. And we want to take this time to see how we can do that better and as a team. So why don't we commit to the Lord in prayer this time and then the year ahead of us. God, thank you for being a good God who calls us, who has given us new names and glory, that we are yours and chosen. And thank you that you've put this special group of believers together at Bethel. And thank you for these special people here that serve in very important ways. And we ask that as we focus on the year ahead and the tasks in front of us, may we keep your glory at the center, and may we work together to bring you the glory that you deserve. Thank you for this time. Thank you for each one of these brothers and sisters in Christ. And we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So, want to focus a little bit on a philosophy of ministry here at Bethel. Bethel.Bible.Church's philosophy of leadership is one of grateful servanthood. Grateful servanthood, with the leaders serving as exemplars to the church of mature Christian faithfulness in every aspect of life and ministry. Leadership functions as a team, with each member contributing as God gifts and directs. That last phrase there about team, as any team functions, we need to know who's doing what and how things are to work and what roles are being played. And so that's what this orientation is meant to set out to do. So you have a folder with you that the first page there basically is the agenda for tonight. And so we're now at letter C under that first section. The second page is Bethel's ministry divisions. This is a way to strategically line up every ministry that we're aware of. And even as we go through a year, sometimes we're like, oh, we missed a ministry that we didn't think of. But the idea is to do our very best to assign an elder to every ministry, so that the ministry team leader or the person in charge of that ministry has a go-to elder. So the purpose of these ministry divisions is assigning ministry divisions in a strategic way for elders to exercise their biblical responsibility over oversight within our church life. And the goals is to establish a two-way communication between ministry leaders and elders at least once a quarter to provide support, prayer, and pastoral leadership. And is to regularly pray for the people and ministries we as elders oversee. So I would encourage you to find the ministry you lead or your name on this and trace it back up to an elder. Our doors are always open for questions, prayer requests, or concerns. You're welcome to talk to me, but I would encourage you also to keep that other elder, maybe go to that elder first. If there are important things like questions that elder may not know, we'll talk about at the next elder meeting. Because what you care about, we want to care about. What questions you are asking, we want to do our best to work with you with whatever you're asking. So, any questions over ministry divisions?
What if Amy doesn't like her leader?
What if Amy does not like her leader?
I think there's a procedure for impeachment.
Yeah, there is. There is. Which, thank you for speaking up, Carrie. So the fellowship committee is not something that was on there last year. So this is a new ministry team or a committee that is helping the church think about how to encourage fellowship, and it's also a way to really, it helps us as staff to have appointed people to lead in this particular way of encouraging fellowship. So yeah, Carrie and Amy are working together, and Brad, do your best to make sure Carrie minds.
Already trying to train you guys.
So that's ministry divisions. The last thing under number 1 is just important documents for you to be aware of. There's the church constitution, which is approved and voted on by the church. It contains our doctrinal statement, what we believe. It contains our church covenant, which what all members agree to abide by, and then it contains our polity. This is how we agree to work together. It's very it's kept general in some regard because that's a very hard document to change, and really you shouldn't change it every year. So church constitution, if you need one, there's some available in the office. Then there's the policy manual, which is a little bit more flexible, but it's meant to give everybody guidelines, tracks to follow. This is the purpose why we do this ministry. This is how it should be done. This is what should not be done. So that's the church policy manual. If you need a copy of that, right now we have digital copies available, and Chris can get those to you. And then there's the children and youth workers trainer manual, and this is very specific. That especially youth ministry, nursery ministry, and children's ministry. We had back in the summer even a refresher of the course. We try to do that once a year so that everyone's aware of these are the up-to-date policies. So those are 3 important documents for you to be aware of. If you need access to them or you have questions about them, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Chris, and we'll get you a copy. We're going to move on to number 2, and that we're going to go to our lovely ministry assistant, Chris, who working with her in the office, you as ministry leaders, is really important for you to hear from her of how to communicate with her, as well as what resources she has available for you to make your ministry a success.
All right, so I probably won't say everything, but this is the middle sheet, and it's got a lot of words on it. So thought it might be nice if you had that so you could look back at it. First of all, we want to communicate well here at Bethel. We communicate because that's the loving thing to do. It's loving to let people know about our ministries, and it's loving for us to help you promote your ministries and get more people excited about them. So to start with, on communicating things that we have Breeze, which is our software we use as a directory mostly, but you're also able to go right from the directory to sending emails, starting phone calls. If you're going to someone's house, you can link to a map. If you haven't been in Breeze for a while and you don't know your password or the domain, which is BBC Winnemac, so if it asks you what's your domain, it's just BBC Winnemac. If you haven't been into it for a while and can't get in it, let me know, because I have access to things that will get you to the point where you can make a new password. There's a handy app that you can put on your phone. It's a pretty good tool to have. Also, you'll want to update your own information, so you want to check out that your information in there is still correct. And it'd be really nice if we had more pictures on Breeze. So if you want to put your picture in Breeze, that'd be great. I would love to see more pictures. If you need help with that, let me know. I can help you do that. The next tool that we use is One Call Now, which is how we do the phone tree. So that's what you're going to know it mostly for. We also have text alerts that we send out, and we can, so everybody that gets text alerts already has their phone number in to receive phone calls. So if you get the phone calls but not text alerts, you can opt in for text alerts just by doing the alert to 22300, and it'll opt you in, and then you'll be able to get them. We can put all of these things in subgroups. So if your ministry is geared at a particular group, like the teens, the youth ministry, we can just put the teens in there, and we can put them in a group where they don't get the church-wide phone calls, but they just get things that have to do with teens. So that would work for any group. So I have a group in there right now that is the ladies texting group. We can have a group of the men's texting group, but I don't have that made, but I could do that. So that's a pretty useful tool to communicate with people. We have an internal Facebook page, so if you're not familiar with that and you need to know how to get on that, I can help you with it. Just ask me. I can also post on there for you. So if you're having an event or something and you would like me to post, I will do that for you. So, or if you're looking for volunteers, it's a good place to ask for volunteers, because people on the outside don't see it. You have to ask to be in the group, and we give you permission to be in the group. So not everybody's able to get on that. So then there's also the newsletter, the bulletin, our weekly announcements, slides that go up before worship, and the website that are good ways to let people know about what's going on. So I did put some notes in there about when, like if you want it to be in the newsletter, when I need the information. And also some notes about slides in the website, because sometimes those are things that I end up running out of time for in the week. So they don't always make it. So if you want it to make it, I need a little bit more notice on that stuff. And then also if you're ordering, we have an Amazon account that's tax exempt. And super easy to let me know if you want something. Just send me a link. Nathan does that to me. Like, here's a link. Can you order that for me? And I do that. So that's pretty nice. It comes right to the church. It's already, you don't have to worry about getting I can't think of the right. Yes, reimbursed. Thank you. Reimbursed for that, because it'll already be on the church card, and then we'll take it off of your account or your budget line. If there's something that you need that's not on Amazon and you want me to set up like a tax exempt with a certain company to get things, like we got a cleaner for janitor supplies for the gym, and I set an account up to get it tax exempt, I can do that too. So just let me know that. There's no reason to pay tax for stuff because, I mean, it's a waste for us to have to pay tax on it. So, copy machine is pretty popular. And if you have problems with it, just let me know. I can try to help you out with it. But I'm not an expert because there's so many things on that copy machine. So if it's just like your basic general copying, I should be able to help you out with it. But it does a lot more things that I don't have time to learn.
I have a question about the being able to use it as a printer,
Yeah.
right? Like it's with my laptop, I've been on Church Wi-Fi before. I have never ever been able to get a document to come out of that. Is there some trick to knowing something?
You probably need a driver installed on your laptop.
It shows that it's on there. It chooses the printer and everything. I've never gotten one that can come out of it.
So I was here one time when the copier repair guys were here, and I had my laptop, because same thing. And they did their magic, and I can now print from my laptop, but it wasn't something that I could figure out at all.
Kelly can print from her phone, but not the laptop.
Yeah.
So if you ever
My wired laptop does print.
Try from your phone.
wired laptop.
Have
I
you
know
tried
there's
that?
been issues with someone who tried to install the driver on their laptop and it messed up the laptop, so.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay, I didn't know if there was some kind of a trick or a code we had to have or something like that. So.
There's not a code. You can send it to me too, and I'd be glad to print it. But yeah, Jan was like really fortunate that day because we were having a lot of copy issues, and it was back when we weren't able to print in color, and they were coming in and out all the time trying to figure out why our copy machine wasn't working. So yeah, I can always give you a call if the copy repair guys come. Or actually,
Bring all your laptops.
yeah,
We're not really
it's
supposed to do this, but.
it's possible too that there is a lady that is sort of our service rep. I think sales rep. She's our sales rep, I think. And she sometimes can give us clues on things. And she actually helped me get mine going when I got my new computer. So that's a possibility too. Okay, and so copies. Only run color if you need to, because it is more expensive when we go over our allotted number that they give us to run color copies. It's like 3 to 4 times more expensive to run the color than the black and white. So if you don't need them, do black and white in 2 sides to save on paper. Let's see. Yeah, and I put on here where the paper's at, so if you need to print in color paper, because some of you guys use color paper for your things, there's a lot of selection. In the lower cupboards on the left is the color paper and cardstock. On the right is just the plain white copy paper. So if you're in there using it and you run out, that's where it's at. So one day I'd come in and it had light gray paper in it, and I'm like, I don't think this is white. And so I held it up next to white paper, and so somebody thought that it was the white paper, but it was actually gray. So, okay. And my contact information's at the bottom here of this sheet, so feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. Also, one last thing is keys. If you don't have a key and you need a key, let me know. I can take care of that for you too. Or if you have 2 keys and you don't need 2 keys, I'll take your second key.
Hey Chris, I have one more question.
Oh, yeah.
Breeze. How do you find the calendar on Breeze?
So
I'm
it's
sure not at all.
called events, I believe. So on the top, I think there's like a call it a hamburger menu on top. Let's see. It's just little lines. Let me open it up here. And it isn't opening. So, there it comes. Yeah, so the little logo's there with the 3 lines by it. It should be in that section.
I have dashboard, people, and tags, is the only thing that comes up online. I don't know if others have seen something different, if I need to log out, log back in, or what.
I don't know.
Brad has events on his, I do not have that.
Do you have it on
I
yours?
have it on mine.
I don't know on that one.
It's me.
Mike, try scrolling down to, on the homepage, it'll say like upcoming events, then there's go to events, that should pull it up too.
No, it's not, I don't have it on my phone at all.
What is
So
wrong with
Is-
you?
I'll do it, should I do it?
Do you have to
I'll
be on the
reinstall it.
app or in the actual website to see all that?
I'm in the app.
My
You
app
should
is
be able
like
to see-
Mike's, I can only see.
So you push this up here?
Yeah,
Oh, it says events right there.
okay, so that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the app.
Mine wants me to do a survey to win an I can't get it off. If I win a $100 Amazon gift card.
Val, can you help him when you get home?
No.
Sarah had to help me.
So did yours-
Help you,
I'll call Easton, he can do it, he's 6, he knows what
but
he's
it
doing.
might be something to do with, permission. Maybe
It
you might
could
need,
be.
Granted certain administrative rights.
That's why I was wondering about the copier, if there was some kind of a permissions thing maybe, something of that nature.
Yeah, there's not on the copier.
Okay.
Another thing on Breeze that I forgot to put on my paper is we can make forms. So like the check-ins on Sunday morning, that's a Breeze form. When you do the scan the QR code and you check in, that's done on Breeze. So there's a lot of different types of forms that can be done.
Have you figured
Even-
out yet how to put the nursery schedule on there?
Mhm. It's on there.
It's on there? Where do you find that?
So the nursery schedule is in the calendar, and if you tap on the nursery, it should show the volunteers.
I don't see that. I just see, it says service plan, that's all I see.
Yeah, there's a-
I've never looked
Manage the plan for your service.
I've never been on it either, so.
He tried to get me on Breeze once.
It wasn't a breeze.
He gave up.
It wasn't a Breeze.
And they show on the regular computer. I've never ever checked.
Oh.
I always check it on the computer to make sure they're in there. Yeah, it's very slow. Okay. Anybody have any questions for me? I know that was a lot of stuff. But you can always ask me later too, if you think of something later. But that's it.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the year-to-date, the budget report that the ministry leaders get emailed to them every month. Just kind of financial reports for dummies overview here. So this line here that says budget, this is our budgeted amount for the whole year. This first column is what has been spent out of that budget line so far in this fiscal year, which starts July 1st and goes through June 30th. So your particular ministry that you're in charge of, I'm going to take janitor supplies because there's an amount there, okay? So the janitor has $1,000 budgeted for the year. Year to date, so basically that's July, because this would be through the end of July. $251.23 have been spent, leaving the remaining amount over here. So when you get that email, go into your line item that you're responsible for and just take a look at it. And if something looks out of whack, like, whoa, we've already spent half of our budget and we're only 2 months into the year, then, raise a question. The other thing is, in the office, on the wall outside pastor's office, there's a treasurer's thing. And there are these vouchers. You guys probably all know this already, but anyhow. The only time you need to use these is if you've bought something and you need reimbursed for it. So like if you're buying things, places where we have accounts like Ace or places in town, Healy's, Gordon's, those kinds of things. We don't need this filled out. You just write on your receipt, like say from Ace, like what it was for, put it on the desk or in the receipts folder in the wall pocket. So on here, there's a place for, at the very bottom, we added this last year, ministry leader name and signature. The purpose of that is so that whoever's in charge of your ministry that you're spending money for, we want them to be aware of what's being spent. So like Melody, so she's in charge of the ladies ministry and somebody's buying something, turning this in like, I need reimbursed. This was for the ladies ministry, and Melody had no clue that they were spending that. That's a problem. So this is just to be accountable to everybody so we know what's going on. Let's see what else is on my list here. Yeah, and as we go through the year, think about if your budget seems reasonable for what you need to do, or if there's things that you know are coming up for the next year, get that to me or to somebody on the finance committee or pastor. As we're planning next year's budget, those kind of things are helpful to know. Tax exempt. Yeah, so she kind of went over that. So any questions about any of that?
Jen, thank you. Appreciate it. And your ministry as treasurer, and Chris, thank you for that. This does not have to be the only time that questions can be asked. For sure, as the year goes on, questions might pop up. Things that maybe we haven't even thought of, which is great. There's always ways to grow and improve. A couple other things I want to, as we conclude our time together, and maybe there might be some just general questions you want to talk about while all the brains are in the room all at once, is as a ministry leader, is one of the things that you probably more than likely will do is plan for particular events. It might be a weekly event, it might be an annual event, it might be a monthly event. This is a planning guide. It's nothing that's made to, you have to do this, but we want to equip you to think about some things that you might not be thinking about. So this is just strategic ways of thinking about it. So let's just say you're planning an event for your ministry. You jot that down, and then think about if it's just you or if there's a ministry team that you're working with, what is the purpose of that event? Because the purpose of that event will shape the things that you are going to do in it. So that's the purpose, why, and then there's patterns and parameters. Patterns being, this is what the Bible tells us to do as we set out to do this, and then parameters are things that the Bible explicitly says that we shouldn't do, and then you work within those confines, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And then think about inviting people, if not already involved or a part of it. Invite people. It's maybe a good rule of thumb is try never to do anything on your own and involve other people. That makes it better because you're working together and you're enlisting people to serve as well as getting other perspectives. So you write down those people. And then a timeline. So this is just a model. In fact, I would encourage you to do it on a bigger sheet of paper because there's not enough space right here. But you do a task. This is the time and date it needs to be done. These are the people who it includes, and any notes that would be included. Kind of a way to do this is start at the time it's the day it is, and then work your way backwards. And set goals for yourself. This is when registration needs to be in. This is when promotional needs to happen. This is when signups need to be in, and all that. So that, and try to do this early enough so that you can plan accordingly. So on the right-hand column, there's just a general set of tasks that may or may not even be included in it, but just some ways to get your the brain juices going. Pre-planning, like forming a team, purpose, strategy, setting a date, kind of all those initial things. Be aware of the budget. Number 3 is get and order materials, whether that's promotional or teaching materials. Number 4 is initial promotion. Might be save a date or just initial announcements, and then you can develop things more. You can get stuff on the website, working with Chris. Video on Sunday morning or in Sunday school if it's pertaining to a particular class, all that good stuff. Get interests like signups. 6, enlist help and training volunteers. 7, distribute registration forms, liability waivers, especially in relation to youth or children. Any of that kind of stuff needs to be in to get permission. Ordering. Is number 8, reservations, hotel rooms if it's a trip. 9, ongoing promotion. These are more specific things as the date's getting closer. Preparation letter, last minute kind of stuff if people are packing. Again, these are just ideas. Decoration or setup, follow up, and then evaluate. So like after the event happens, it's always good to follow up, evaluate how did it go. So again, just a general guideline. If it's another more specific event, there might be some things that aren't on here that you need to add, but it's just some ways to give you some thoughts on planning of an event and making it as successful as it can be. So that's in your hands as a tool. The last thing is a church calendar. This is very general. In fact, it's subject to change as the year goes on due to all sorts of factors. But it is a tool that you can at least say, here are some general things that we try to work through every year, and some dates to keep in mind. And then if in your particular ministry, double check with Chris before you that there's no conflicts, whether it's building or other ministries that might compete with it, because we're working together. And then and then at that point, Chris can get it on the calendar. We can start promoting it and go off to the races. So this is just a starting point. This isn't everything that we're going to do. We're not limited to this. It can be added, and things can even be subtracted if need be. So that's there just to kind of give you a first look on things. So.